Hi guys, it's Julie from Quilts Plus. Welcome to the Quilt into Spring Sew Along. We are so excited that you guys get to be a part of this and that you saw the video. This is new territory for us at Quilts Plus, and we're excited that you get to be a part of it. You know what? We figure if we can't have you guys come to us, we're going to come to you. And Steve and Kathy were able to send out a video and invite you to be a part of it, and I'm super geeked about it because I miss you guys. And it's been hard not seeing you, but I'm glad everybody's staying safe and staying home and taking care of the loved ones that you have in your family as well. So by now, you will have picked up your pattern that you needed to have for the sew along. Now, I do want to just mention one thing. If you haven't had a chance to join and you still want to join, there's still time. So you can still grab the beach bracelets pattern. We have that at the store. We can set up a time where you can come in and you can get that. You probably won't be coming in, but we can have you give a call to the store. You can email us. You can direct message us through Facebook, and we can set up a time where you can get that. As well as if you need to get your fabric, or if you already have it in your stash, that's fine too. We're gonna be accessible to you, and we're gonna try to make this as easy as possible and make it fun, because we like to have fun. So this is one of a really special pattern that we really love. It's from Pine Tree Country Quilts, and it is a nice pattern. I'm sure many of you have already looked over it and said, hey, I could do this on my own. This is not tough, and it's not. I do have some fun tips and tricks to share with you as well along the way, so it makes it a little easier, and it makes it just enjoyable. So let's get started, all right? Let's just, first of all, I just showed you what you're gonna need. You're gonna need your pattern, beach bracelets. I know it shows backwards in the screen, but it is beach bracelets. And you're going to need your background fabric, which is 4 1/4 yards. And I've already started cutting mine up, which I should be since I'm teaching the class. I should have these things done. So I have my background fabric. Some of you are gonna have different colors, whether it's gonna be a lighter background, a darker background. Either one is going to be fine. Then the other thing that you're going to have is your jelly roll. So I've got my jelly roll here. I've used quite a few of my pieces, but I love pink, so I picked out pink. Some of you are my teal people. Some of you love those other hues that they're out there. So I picked up my pink jelly rolls, and I've got those ready to go. And those are already cut for you. Those are the 2 1/2 inch strips. There should be 40 of them there. And those are with the fabric, just so everybody knows what's going on. You are gonna be needing a neutral thread. So when you're sewing this together, you want a nice neutral, whether it's a white. I chose, because I've got pink, I picked a light pink because it's fun. And you guys can do the same. If you have a blue, do a light blue just for fun. We like to do that. I'm a color girl, as you know. I love color. So this is a fun way to just make it extra special just for you during this time too. Again, you're gonna need your mat, your rotary cutter, and remember, if your blade gets dull, we have more blades in the store. You can just get a hold of us, let us know you need one, we'll set up a time and get that all taken care of as well. I know sometimes our tools along the way don't work like exactly we want them to, the way we want them to. So if you get a frustration or something like that, please let us know right away, and we'd be happy to get those to you, no problem. We're here for you guys. We understand how that is, especially when something goes on the fritz. You're also gonna need your ironing mat or your ironing board, and you're gonna need your iron, and of course your other supplies that you would use. So I wanted to kind of just get that there to you so you guys know where we're getting started from. You definitely will need a nice machine, you know, whether it's beautiful or not beautiful. It works. It's one of your tools. So you'll need your machine threaded properly, make sure your bobbin is ready to go, make sure that if there's dust in there, you get that cleaned out. You guys know, you know how to do that, so you can do it. All right, so again, we want to thank Pine Country Quilts. They've been fabulous. We've been able to contact them directly and get patterns straight from them. So we are so thankful for their support in this as well. So the first thing we're gonna do, you guys, the first thing is we're gonna cut our background fabric. Those are gonna be 2 1/2 inch strips. And I just want to give you a little bit of a side note on this because of the amount that you're gonna be cutting, which is it's on your pattern. It is right on page 1 under white solid. the first instruction there will tell you how many strips you're cutting that are 2.5 inches width of fabric. Okay, I just want to give you that information first. Now, I just want to let you guys know, because we are the quilt store and we love to do fun things, we have some shortcut tools. So many of you have these shortcut tools, so I would like you to grab them because it will make your life so much easier. The one that I'm going to recommend for cutting your 2.5 inch strips for your background fabric, you'll also be cutting 1.5 inch strips and 2 inch strips, different amounts. You're going to be able to use your strip cutter. So this is the time where you run to your if you're already in your sewing room, grab out your strip cutter. This is going to save you a lot of time, and it's just going to be very enjoyable to do. So if you don't have a strip cutter, and you don't have to have one to do this, but it just saves you time, it is available in the bottom of the screen. There's a link there that shows you how to use a strip cutter, and we do have a few of those in the store. So if you're interested, you can certainly grab one of those, and we can get that to you probably the same day. Okay, you guys know that. Unless this is a Sunday, we are going to take the Sunday off. But you can check that link and you can see that. And I'm always going to reference any shortcut tools because we like those at the store, and many of you have those, but sometimes it's just a matter of not realizing that you can use them in a certain project. So I want you to be able to know that, okay? So the first thing you're going to be doing is cutting your 2.5 inch strips of your background fabric that you have. And you're going to be making sure that you look at your instructions on page 1 and look at where that says white solid under the beach bracelets. Under materials and cutting, you'll see white solid on the left-hand side, and it will tell you how many strips of those that you need to cut. Now, I'm only recommending at this point that you just cut out those strips. You're welcome to cut out the rest of the strips at the different sizes, but just for now, I think sometimes to keep it simple, it might be best to just cut those out and then set those the rest of your yardage aside until we're ready to move on from there, okay? It's gonna take you a little bit of time. Take your time. When you're cutting, it's important to be able to take your time and get that done correctly and in a timely fashion, and make sure that they're right, okay? This is important. Accuracy is important when we cut. I know. So just don't do it when you're tired. All right, so I also wanted to just chit chat with you about when you are cutting those. You'll notice you have a selvage at either end. What you're going to be doing is at one end of that selvage, go ahead and chop that off. You don't need to cut off both selvage ends. You don't need to do that. You can if you want, but my recommendation is because you're going to be cutting those, you want to make sure that you remove as little fabric as possible. Okay, so we're going to use this whole strip for our blocks, so keep that in mind. So just one end is fine, then we'll move on from there. Now you've got all your pieces cut. All right, you've got your strips cut for your background. You've already got your jelly roll cut. That's already done for you. So this gets to be the fun part. You are going to be able to pick out 2 coordinating fabrics. Now I want you to look on your pattern under piecing the blocks, and at step 4 you're going to see we're not cutting yet, but look at the fabrics that they've chosen. There's a light and a dark, or you could call it a medium and a light, whatever you want to say. You're going to grab 2 fabrics that are dark. Show you that. 2 fabrics that are the dark, and in every jelly roll there's always going to be 2 of the same print. So you'll grab 2 of those same print for your dark, and then you're going to grab 2 prints for your light. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're doing that. So those are what you're going to be grabbing for that piece of it. Then, as you look at step 4, I want you to see how they've positioned those. You've got your light at the top, your white, your dark, and then your white again, or your light background. So you've got your light print, your background, your dark print, your background. All right, and you see they've done it the same on both strip sets. Now, we're not going to do that. You can if you would like, but I would recommend that we do this a little bit more fun, and it's going to be so cute with your fabrics. It's going to be beautiful. You're going to love it. Instead of that, you are going to do the first strip set as shown. You're going to do the light, the background, the dark, and the background again. For the next strip set, using those same fabrics that you've chosen out of your strips, you're going to do the dark at the top, you're going to do your background, then you're going to do your light, and then you're going to do your white, your background again. So it's going to be alternated, you'll notice that, and that is very strategic in how we're going to put this together and how it's going to look. Your blocks are going to have a really special look to them, and they're going to coordinate beautifully. So I want you to keep that in mind when you're doing that. So when I put my block together, I'm going to be able to alternate that, and they're going to meet up and coordinate. So what I've also done is, you're going to see this below, is there's going to be photos of how that's put together. So you don't have to wonder, how's that going to work? So I have photos at the bottom. You'll be able to see how that block will look once it's done. Okay. Whew. So now that you've done that, you're going to start to sew. And it's really important that everybody knows that when you're sewing, you need to do a scant 1/4 inch. So if you're on your machine, if you've got a 1/4 inch foot, just inside of that line on your foot is where you want to sew. Not on the outside, on the inside. That's where you're going to have your scant 1/4 inch. It's really important to be sewing these at your scant 1/4 inch as you sew them together. And as you go, you're going to iron your seams open. Okay, open. We want these to be nice and flat. So this is another opportunity for you to grab one of your shortcut tools, which you do have in your stash, in your sewing room somewhere, so you can pause the video if you need to go find it. You are going to get your strip stick. So when you're ready to iron these open, you're going to want to use your strip stick, because it raises the seam so that you can iron that down, and it irons nice and flat. I have a photo of that. You'll be able to see that as well. Below, you'll be able to see how that irons flat, and it really is slick. So if you don't have one, again, we have them in the store. Not necessary to use, just makes things a little easier, which we all love to have things a little easier. So again, if you need any more information, we are here for you. Have a great time sewing, you guys. I've had so much fun making this quilt, and I look forward to seeing you next week. If you've got questions, you're not alone. We're here for you. We can answer them. You can either email us, which I think is probably the best way to do it, or direct message us on Facebook. So again, beautiful job. We'll see you next week. Take care, everybody.